entirely upon the person like venom. This is the disease about character and anger. But the problem is that you don't just live with that, but Allah's promise was, I'm going to send people who have no mercy after you. Because now you're in their companionship. You entered now into the ocean of Allah's anger and ghadab, and only despair and torment awaits that ocean, because that's not the ocean of rahmah and mercy. What coming upon the earth is of that nature. Imam Mahdi has nothing to do with entering into that battle. There are not people sitting and preparing because they speak absolute rubbish, because they're not shaykhs, they're not trained by shaykhs. They don't even think Imam Mahdi knows himself. When the tariqah is based on who knows himself will know his Lord. So the presumption is that he doesn't know his Lord and he doesn't know his ability and doesn't know what he has. Means this is spoken by a jahal, an ignorant person who doesn't even understand tariqahs. Where every student of tariqah knows they have to know themselves, and they know that at every moment there's a station, and at every aggression and bad character they fight their character. They enter into seclusions if permissions are granted, but they went through years of struggling against themselves and continuous, there's no end to that struggle. So there's nothing happening overnight. The soul and the representation of Sayyidina Mahdi is a rahmah and a mercy in which he is in a hidden state, and his tajallis and lights, because the soul is more powerful than the sun, can't be even imagined. And you can get a suntan when the sun is shining, and you can get even more of a suntan if it's cloudy. Because when it's cloudy you don't sense it's hot, so you just keep sitting out there and people come back and say, "You look burned, what happened?" Because when there's no clouds you sense, oh, this is intensely heated, hot, I'm going to seek shelter. When you don't know that it's hot and you don't know that the shade, the sun rays are still coming through, you're going to get cooked. This is an example of Sayyidina Mahdi that by having the love of Prophet, if his physical zuhur is here, that's like sunshine, you're gonna cook. The hidden zuhur is like sun on a cloudy day, we don't seem to see it, we don't really identify and understand it unless you're from the people of tafakkur and contemplation, and you feel the fires, you feel the lights, you feel that love of Prophet, and because this is the sultan of the lovers of Sayyidina Muhammad. The version they describe of preparing for battles and going into these battles is completely fabricated. And what happens upon the earth is that 6 out of 7 people will be destroyed. And this is the punishment of the Divine, whether they punish each other or God's Divinely wrath begins to unleash His anger upon the earth. In any direction something wrong is coming. The people whom wish to be with Sayyidina Mahdi they exhibit good character. And as a result, that's why they're teaching that if you have that drop of good, because only good goes with good, that he carries the covenant, the living covenant of Allah. As the Dajjal is going to be looking for a box with some stone tablets, and he'll use that box as a walking covenant for power. And they aggressively looking for it, to grab it. And they can't even enter into the presence of that Ark of the Covenant because of its tajallis, and these are tajallis upon books and stones. The reality of Sayyidina Mahdi is that his presence is of such a holy nature, of such a purified nature and good charactered nature that the truth and falsehood, they don't go together. Bad character doesn't accompany him, anger and aggression doesn't accompany him, and that these are the times in which to exhibit good character. Because Allah has written that for this beatific light of Prophet a grandchild who carries the most beatific lights of Sayyidina Muhammad, these are now the kings of the Muhammadan reality, the highest Muhammadan reality that Allah has created to bring back in the last days. His soul is created for that reality as a perfected mirror of Muhammadun Rasulullah. Thus not every circus and farm animal is going to be into that presence. They will have already been washed away by the battles upon the earth. Means in the days of difficulty, those whom are clean and have good character, they're under the nazar of awliya to be protected. And that Allah write for them and destined for them a protection from what? The battles of men, the violence and the anger of these men. Not to enter into a battle, that's not the battle. They are to be protected, guarded with their good character, their love for their sultan, their love for Sayyidina Muhammad. And as a result of this good character and good character people, even those whom are not Muhammadiyun yet, and those whom call themselves Muslim, many of which have no good character, they will go like the foam on top of the ocean. And that's why many awliya have come and said the majority of those whom follow this Muhammadan guidance are not Muslim. Not Muslim in the sense that they have accepted Islam, but they are Muslim in the eyes of Allah because of their good character. That Muslim, away from the Arabic word, is one whom submits his will to the will of God. So there are many people hidden in many places, in mountains and rivers and caves and streets and apartments, that on a daily basis they wish to submit their will to the will of God. And they do good and they're charitable and they're kind and they're upset with the evilness they see, and they uphold justice and truth. We have it in our nasheeds. Don't give me your false stories. None of these prophets were blue-eyed, white-skinned people. So why are you selling me lies? I want the truth. And there are many people out there that say, no, I want the truth. They haven't yet seen it from a Muslim, because many of them not on truth. They're very harsh, very aggressive, and we know that they are supported by Dajjal entities exactly for that purpose. So why we call these Dajjal and these people Dajjal is because they're the masters of deception. They come into every religion and they deceive. No religion was safe from it. They came into Islam and they made all these rules and said, oh, we're all so pure, you follow us. And they all turned out to be lies. And everything that was supposed to be good was said now not to do. And every not to do, they do. Means system of deception is on the earth, is moving. Its mastery is flowing through everything to deceive everything and everyone and to corrupt everything. That's the Dajjalic system. That's why they have eyes but they don't see. They have ears and they don't hear. And that's what they keep trying to take. Don't you see the food is a Dajjalic system? The medicine is a Dajjalic system. Everything you look around you is a deception and a lie. And as a result, the warning is we have to have good character. That good character